You're the lover of my soul. I love you. Yes. You're so special to me. I'm John Charles Muyu. Those are my names. My profession, I'm a pastor with Gospel Tabernacle Churches of Kenya. The headquarters is in South B. I've been in ministry for now 12 years and counting. And I thank God that I'm a married man and I'm here together with my wife. And you tell us your names.
My name is Marilyn Muyu. I'm pastoring together with my husband. God has blessed us with 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy.
And we thank God for that.
Yeah.
It's a blessing. And we have been in marriage for 8 years. Many people meet in different places, but I met my wife in church. And this is how it all began.
It was after the service. There's a man in the protocol team, in the protocol department in our church. So just immediately after the service, we were chit-chatting with the youth and all that. So as I was walking outside, I met with him. So we just started talking. As we were talking, exchanging pleasantries and all that, he called. He called him.
Yes, I was passing by.
Yeah, he was passing by.
Going to the office.
Kuja.
Yes.
Have you met this lady? Have you met this lady? What else did he tell you?
Yeah, he wanted to know if I know you. And I said, no, I don't know you. Briefly, no intention. And then it took us a while. We stayed like around almost 4 years. I didn't see her. She was in school. I was busy also in school.
Yeah, we were doing life.
Yes. So we didn't see her and she had stopped also coming to church.
Because of school.
Yeah, because
I didn't stop coming to church. I didn't stop coming. I was busy schooling. I was in school.
Yeah, she was in school. And so definitely our schedule, so we didn't see each other for a while. So now in 2008, April, I'm now a pastor. I'm pastoring with the youth. I've got we've got the Easter weekend. So the Easter weekend would begin on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we'd have like the youth challenge, we'd have seminars, we'd have teachings, we'd be having presentations. So now is when I see her again. And so I got interested into her first as friendship. One of the things is that I noticed when our friendship began, I never got tired of talking to her on the phone.
Yeah, most of the time we were on the phone. You were meeting less.
Yes.
And more on the phone.
More on the phone. There's one night we talked up to morning.
Not one night, several nights. Yeah. Why are you saying one night?
I remember because the following day I was so sleepy. We talked up to morning. And that's the first thing that is with us, is that's one of our foundations, is that we are friends.
Yeah.
Good friends.
We are fast friends.
We are fast friends. 2012, that's where everything now began. I had a trip to the Philippines, and now I'd made up my mind. The Bible says in Proverbs 18 and verse 22, whoever finds a wife. And so I was convinced from 2004 to 2012 that this is wife material. I was so convinced, but she didn't know.
I didn't know. I was seeing you as a pure friend. In fact, I was like, hey, this guy, he's a nice friend, and he's not asking for anything from me. We just meet, talk, laugh, what, and you go home.
once in a while when I would meet her, I would have a chocolate with me. And then when we got married, she would be asking me, where did the chocolates go? I was like, no.
I don't eat chocolate. Honey, why don't you surprise me with chocolate these days?
I was like, no. The chocolates, I found out they're unhealthy. And since we are we ought to live together to our 25th anniversary, 50 years in marriage.
That's a lame excuse.
So no more chocolates, no more chocolates. So now, when I was there in Philippines is when I sourced out a ring. I got a ring, a silver ring with a zircon on top, not real diamond, but zircon. We planned now on Sunday very well how to propose. And my family helped me very well. So it was during the main service on Sunday. We've got 3 services on Sunday. So it was on the main service.
In the second service.
In the second service, which is between 10:30 and 1. So between there, after inviting the visitors, before we can invite our senior pastor to minister, that is when I made now the proposal. So at the grand entry, you remember what was going on?
Okay, at that time,
yes.
It was the mom, who is now a bishop, was at the pulpit. So she started talking about radiation. So she's talking about radiation. No, we are all ears, we are all listening. What's this about radiation now? Then she called the sister, the mom called the sister to my brother at the pulpit. So as they're talking about that, they're talking about radiation. Hey, I'm just stayed with a brother. They're like, we're talking about so the brother asked me, Mama is talking about radiation today in the service. I'm like, I don't know, let's wait and listen. So a few minutes later, we just see a motorbike entering church and coming at the pulpit. So we started laughing. I looked at the brother. We are laughing. We started laughing. It's like, how come? What does radiation have to do with a motorbike? So we're like, let's just wait and listen anyway. So as he entered the church,
I had located where she was. She was seated in the middle of the church, and that day I had also dressed. I had a flower, and I had a poem that I had prepared to say. That was going with the flower, and so when I entered church, everyone's like, today you're in a flower, and they're making fun of the flower. Oh, it's nice, it's everything, and it was a white rose. So when I made the grand entry, I came in with the motorbike, and it had lights and everything, and when I arrived there, I was given the cordless microphone. And so I picked up the cordless microphone, and I began to say my poem. And I was talking about the petals, and I would go and throw one by one out.
As he's coming towards me,
yes.
I was like, wait, what is this guy doing? A lot of things were going on in my mind. I was like, what is this guy doing? Is he serious?
Yes.
My heart was even beating so fast.
And so I walked towards her, and when I reached towards her, I'm done with the petals, I'm done with the poem, and then at that point is where I kneel down and I remove the ring that I'd come with, and I say, will you marry me? Wow. And the church just...
Because no one was expecting that.
Yes.
Like, it was too early. I just finished high school. I just completed high school. Then now, this guy comes to propose to this girl, this child. How? But yes, I said yes. And...
Yes, when she said yes, we came in front, and because I was a pastor, they asked me if I could engage her there, and that's where we began.
Actually, everyone engages in front of the church, in
yes.
front of everyone else,
yes,
because there's nothing to hide.
Yes.
Yeah, you have an intention to get married to this lady.
Yeah, so since I was a minister, now we entered into the preparation of the wedding. There is going to visit the family. We had to go through all that. Our wedding budget was $500,000. And in my pocket, I started with 1,000. That is how faith. But at the end of it, the challenges we had, especially preparing, I can't forget, was her dress. There's a specific dress that she wanted. And your dress was almost 90,000?
It was 90,000.
It was 90,000. Her dress alone was 90,000. We were expecting over 350 guests. So the budget of the decor and everything, the suits and everything, it was almost 500,000 Kenya shillings.
Yeah.
And so I thank God for the support that I got from my parents, her parents, the church. We did a fundraising and we put our finances together. One of the highlights was when I was going for the wedding. I arrived on time. The wedding was to be at 11. She came 1:30. I can't forget.
Marriage is a bed of roses, but roses also have thorns. So you have to be pricked here and there. But the rose is there, the flower is there. Marriage is beautiful.
Definitely, I'm from a different family. She's from a different family.
He's from a large family. I'm from a family of just 3 children.
That was the first thing. I'm around people, and definitely she's more
reserved.
Yeah, more reserved. Let's put it that way. The first thing is that when I entered into marriage, I still continued to live as a young person, as a single person. But I'm married. So I was still with my brothers, my relatives.
Imagine this guy, we are married. Like, people say the first is the honeymoon year, you're in love, lovey-dovey, all that. For us, this guy would pop, like, okay, since he's a pastor, he comes from church, he comes home, he just pops in the house. Hey, you okay? And everything. The guy disappears. Where has he gone? To play PlayStation. Seriously. To play PlayStation with his brothers.
Yes.
That time his 2 brothers were around.
One of the requirements even the Bible requires, and that is one of the mistakes that I did in marriage. It's quoted in Deuteronomy 24 and verse 5. It was required when you get married that you don't go for 1 year out for war, but you're supposed to cheer up your wife. So I did that mistake. The first year, instead of getting to know her and get close to her and get to get to know our purpose together, our goals and visions, and to lay a nice foundation. The first year, I was too busy. But as we progressed, I had to sit down because of the counseling that I had gotten, from the advice that I had gotten. I said, am I implementing this? And one of the things that I've realized is once in a while, I take a book on marriage and I read. The fire has to be kept burning.
Yeah, you have to keep it burning.
Yeah, if you don't keep the fire burning in marriage, you will find yourselves now getting agitated with each other, getting bored with each other's company, and you find each other in bed, each one facing their own side.
Facing their own side.
One sleeping this side, another one looking the other side. You can find yourself in such situations. You can find that now there's no longer even time. There's no longer the joy of going home. You're not happy to go home to be with your wife, to be together. You no longer do the things that you love to do together. So I went back into looking, where am I going wrong? After 2 months, she got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, it being still the first year of marriage, everything was happening to me for the first time. And everything's happening to her for the first time.
Yeah.
So our first pregnancy, because we started with nothing. We started with a bed sitter. We slept in one bed and I didn't know she's badly sick or it had taken, the pregnancy had taken her. So
I was telling him, I'm not feeling well. But I think because of familiarity and you're just looking for attention. I think that's what got in his mind.
And it reached at some point, that it was around 5 in the morning. Well, I turned to my side on my bed, and when I turned to my side on my bed, I touched her, and she was like, first I had like somebody who's losing breath. And then I turned also, I wanted to see what is it all about. So when I turned and I touched her, I found out that she was losing breath. She was not breathing. And
I was pregnant on that.
And she was pregnant. And she stopped breathing. And these are the days, and I've given this testimony.
I was on my way to Abraham's bosom.
Yes. She died in the first year. And I've never prayed a prayer like that. I prayed to God. I said, God, because first I said, what would people think? As in, with just the first year, she's died, in my bed. Did I poison her? Did I kill her? Or what happened? What happened between us? And then another thing, I had not seen my child or our first child. So I was like, God, you can't take her prematurely. I don't allow it. I cried, literally cried.
I thought men don't cry.
Yeah. I cried and I prayed, God, you cannot take my wife now, or you cannot allow this to happen to me. And she's pregnant, she needs to go through it, and she needs to deliver. And she started breathing again. And when she started breathing again, I hit her and I tried to get her, and she opened her eyes. And when she opened her eyes, I said, can you hear me? She said, yes. I was somewhere, it was white. And I said, no, you don't need to see white. No white. It was a nice place. And what I said, no, you don't need to see that. And
I think that was the turning point.
Yes.
In our marriage.
And I started now putting more effort into that. We took her to hospital. She was treated, and
the child was okay.
Yeah, the child was tested, and everything was okay. And we went through that first year. Now the other years now became a bit easy, because now I had to learn through experience.
Yeah, because you don't know what to expect in marriage. Because as we had a marriage counseling for 1 day, 1 day, and the rest was you guys figure out how to work out your marriage. So it's basically by God's grace.
So one of the advices that I've seen is important is that before you get into marriage, there's a cost or there's a price to pay. Most people don't do due diligence when it comes to finding out who their partner is. I did a lot of research about her, her family, her past life. I would ask her a lot of questions. Up to where she was young, and she would ask me too. Yeah. When you were young, how was your school life? Who were your friends? What did you do? What did you go through? What are your sad moments? What are your good moments? We'll discuss everything. And
without hiding anything.
Yeah,
just
without secrets. One of the things that destroys marriages is secrets. Some have got secret bank accounts. They have got secrets that they don't reveal to their partner, or before marriage or in courtship, to tell them the truth about themselves. And so that is one of the things that you get to know each other and open to each other in courtship. And then from there, it's important to bring your marriage before God. When you take your marriage seriously and you put a certificate, it is important that you get a certificate. Then you get the blessing. I've seen in marriage. I've seen 2 marriages that didn't go well. Their parents did not agree. And one of the things we got support was from our parents.
Yeah.
Her parents supported this marriage, and my parents did support that. You have to get the blessing of your parents.
Yeah.
Some parents don't, when they don't give you a blessing, you need to ask yourself, why are they refusing?
Yeah. What are they seeing that you're not seeing?
Yes, what are they seeing that you're not seeing? And so when they give it a go ahead, then you need to thank God for that.
Also, before you get married,
yes.
Before you get married, you'll have many friends. But once you get married, I don't know where those friends go. Because right now, you're left with a few friends. You can even count them.
One of the things I realized, I was not only the only friend in her life. Yes, I remember at that particular point, and that's why I had to make so many also other guys who were in the race. We were in the race.
Before.
Yeah, we were in the race. Men will always try to approach my wife.
Up to date.
Up to today.
Up to date.
Yeah. And also ladies will always try to approach me.
Yeah.
But we have to keep us, we have got our circle of love, because love is the key thing. And in this circle of love is that I don't allow a woman to get into me, into my life. And she also has got boundaries that she keeps, and we keep. And that's how our marriage is able to be sustained.
Yeah, love, I think it's a commitment.
Yes.
You wake up every morning making a conscious decision.
Yes.
Like, I love this man. I'm going to stick with him. Come what? Come hell and high waters, you're going to stick with him.
Honey, I want to thank God for your life. I want to thank God that you've come into my life. From the first time that I saw you, second time, third time, up to now, throughout this journey, I continue to be true to the covenant that I made that day, that I will always love you in all seasons, and I'll be there to lift you up, to shield you, and look forward. And through you, I've also got to see our seed, our generation, our children, and the great is yet to come. So continue being and better wife that you have been to me, a friend, helper, mentor, advisor. You're my first love, and you'll always be my true love. I love you.
Words fail me as I try to look for words to describe what I feel towards you and how much you've been to me. I always fall in love over and over and over again every time I look in your eyes. And I thank God He brought you in my life. You've been so much of more than a friend. You're a husband. You're a confidant. Sometimes you crack me up. Sometimes you get on my nerves. And all those things, all the qualities bottled up in one person. It's just a blessing. And I'm sure our children are happy and they're satisfied, and they have, they feel like you're a protector. You're their protector. You're the support system. They're thankful for you being their father, and they're happy. And I'm sure that it's a blessing. It's a blessing. And one thing I thank God is that we got married. We got in this journey of marriage when we are young. We still have time to enjoy the children, to play with them and do all those, everything else together with them. And you've been an amazing husband. You're still my boyfriend. We are still courting. You're just amazing.
Yes.
You're loving. I love how you have the zeal of God in you. May you continue having that. May it never get out of you. And I love you so much. You are irreplaceable. You are the love of my life. And I really, really, really say a prayer for you every day, every night. I thank God for you. Yeah.
I love you too, honey.
Yeah.